Julia Lowell reports the events of the Opium Wars from the standpoint of a historian and a writer, a professional translator, and a commentator of current political events, as Isabel Hilton put it. The Opium War is thus presented not only as a part of political and economic history of the Western colonialism, but most emphatically as the war of cultures, in which both sides hardly knew and barely understood each other. The Opium War also reveals itself as the war of national languages and mentalities, cultural behaviors, and civilizational mistakes. For the Europeans, the Opium Wars, both Opium Wars, constitute a myth of a historical triumph over the oldest country in the world, and prove the successful export of the idea of a free trade. For the Chinese, in this book, they became a symbol of humiliation and the cause of a civilizational decay, affecting millions of victims, both in the following decades and in the 20th century. With a superb display of erudition and rare sense of humor, in an ironic and sometimes very sarcastic manner, step by step, Julia Lowell challenges a number of mental stereotypes and historical taboos. Most of all, she conveys a bitter knowledge of our civilization. Julia Lowell helped me to realize that the British-Chinese Opium Wars had also left their trace in European literature, not direct, of course, not direct, but still very strong, I think. The ships of the East India Company, the company involved in the opium trade, were captained in the 80s of 19th century by a future writer, Joseph Conrad. The action of a number of his novels and short stories takes place along opium trade routes between India and China, though the action of his most famous Heart of Darkness had been located in Africa. Events related to the Opium War also had their hearts of darkness, as extraordinarily demonstrated by Julia Lowell